Hello, on this Monday, a rare phenomenon occurring over the weekend. We got in a little bit of a taste of what Duluth gets a lot in the spring. Some cold air off of Lake Superior. This is a look at satellite-derived surface temperatures and over the middle of the lake in the 30s, and that tells you how cold that water is still. So cold, dense air all spring sits over the middle of the lake, and then depending upon the wind direction or pressure gradient moves in one direction or the other, and it was in our direction over the second half of the weekend. Big drop in temperatures on the North Shore from 70s and 80s to 30s yesterday, and that frontal boundary from the lake made it all the way to the Twin Cities by late yesterday. The airport reached 81 degrees before that front came in, and then temperatures dropped into the 60s. This was the setup. High pressure sitting over the southernmost tip of Hudson Bay. That pushes air outward because high pressure is air condensing and piling up towards the ground, so it spreads outward, moves clockwise out from the center, and that was lined up just right to move over Lake Superior. So cold air near Hudson Bay was waiting basically to meet up with cold, dense air over Lake Superior, so that once it did, it was like a wind tunnel. Everything just lined up. Wind directions, the cold, topography, and normally it doesn't get past Carlton County very much, Moose Lake or so. But yesterday it was just enough of everything, the magnitude of it, to reach all the way into the Twin Cities. So we had that cold Lake Superior air. Of course, by the time it was here, nothing like what it was in Duluth when they were sitting at 38 degrees, but 68 felt cool. With that drop in humidity as well. And this is a closer view. You can see over Lake Superior, Minnesota, Wisconsin, that cool air drifting south, slowed down a bit, but it did make it eventually by the late afternoon, evening. This is a 24-hour temperature change map from Saturday to Sunday. Dramatic difference thanks to the lake blowing that cold air into central Minnesota, including just into the Twin Cities. Now today, the warm, humid air is back. That all migrated north overnight, so thunderstorm risk today. In fact, a marginal risk, pretty small, of severe weather, but one or two storms could produce some hail, maybe a brief wind gust, but the best chance of severe weather or more of an outbreak is going to be in the western and southwestern part of the plains. There is a temperature and moisture divide too across the Dakotas, much drier and cooler air. This is a pretty stationary front, but it is going to be the focus for some thunderstorms. What develops is then going to move in our direction. Some spotty thunder this afternoon, and then more numerous showers and storms probably scattered about coming through tonight. So there's that temperature difference. You can see this bubble of 70s and 80s here, and then it drops off into the 50s and 60s off to the west. There will be some energy from thunderstorms too. This is showing that convective available potential energy, essentially the combination of humidity, temperature, and then instability all combined, and there will be just enough of that across Minnesota to create some thunderstorms. This is the lightning forecast from the European model, and there are some pockets of lightning that will be developing this evening, and then again, especially in the overnight hours too. So don't be shocked if you hear some of that waking you up here in the overnight. A little thunder possible. Not quite as crazy as what we'd see in August, but a little bit. Some spotty afternoon thunderstorms, and then more numerous, as I mentioned, tonight. This is 2-3 a.m. We'll see some of those showers and thunderstorms popping up, and all depending upon where you get exactly hit by a storm as far as rainfall amounts go. But if you get hit by some of those downpours, some potential for rainfall, and then more of a lighter, cool rain on Thursday, 50s and 60s only for temperatures. Trying to push that out of here for the weekend. We've been in this heat bubble for the last week, really keeping temperatures very warm, summer-like. Things are cooling off, though. You can see the upper level pattern returning to below normal heights or thickness in the atmosphere, and that means some cooler air for late in the week. But then that ridge, that bubble of warmth, reestablishes here across the west and central part of the country by early next week. So some hope for some warmth again, maybe even near 80 by Sunday or Memorial Day, but it will be a cooler start to the weekend, especially Friday, with highs mostly in the 50s. Again, after some thunderstorms today and tonight, nice Tuesday, and then that cooler air for at least a few days, and then we'll rebound over the holiday weekend.